Essa bola vai rolar, mundo é um tapete verde. Quando a bola chega lá, coração fica na rede, na rede, na rede. Olá, olá! Lá, 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 lá.
Welcome in to Kickin' It with Jake and Noah on this Wednesday night, and it's one of the few days that we haven't had World Cup action. And if you're a big soccer fan like I am, it's kind of weird to not have soccer anymore. But you know what? We can look forward to the games ahead, and we can bask in the glory of the games past as we head into what should be the most exciting part of this tournament. We have the quarterfinals, the semifinals, the finals, and the third place game, which is not quite that same level. Today with me we have, of course...
a third place game, actually. That's the real winner. That is the real winner. Excuse me, what's the matter with you? We're co-hosts
With
here.
me, that's what I said.
Fine.
I'm going into this, Jake.
I'm Jake, and Carl is that Spreaker wearing a Superman shirt? I don't know.
Up until let's... Okay, so Carl has been muted up until we've done introductions, but he can unmute himself at any time by pressing that little button in the upper part of the screen. Of course, I'm Noah Ep.3, and before Carl interrupted me, I was saying, alongside with my co-host, Jake Liker, in Los Angeles. And we're also joined by guest and hockey fanatic, Carl Mogline, who's in Minnesota, one of the few states that really, really cares about hockey and not much else.
Oh, yeah. Okay, you want to hear how much this state cares about hockey? I was at a hockey arena. Okay, I was at a hockey arena because, well, stepbrother needed to drop in hockey. Long story. But let's just say, according to the guy who runs the rink, they actually have times where they have to turn away people from going to high school hockey games. I just can't fathom this.
It's like Texas and high school football.
My high school hockey games, I just wish there was like 10 people there.
It's like high school football in Texas. So let's go to our co-host Jake in LA. Jake, how are you doing today?
I'm fantastic, especially because you called it a Wednesday night. Even though it is Thursday morning for you, it's 10 or 9 p.m. here, Wednesday, July 2nd in Los Angeles. So this one is for all you mountain timers, and of course, left coast, west coast, to everyone on the Pacific coast as well.
West coast, kind of not really the best coast.
To you. We defer to you.
The Midwest.
Wait, why isn't it West Coast, Best Coast? Like, that's my question. Shouldn't it be West Coast, Best Coast, not just West Coast? Left Coast is the West Coast? I've gotten so into sake. Yep. Whoa.
Jake has gotten so into it that he calls it sake now. He's giving it pet names.
I am so into soccer at this point that, like, there's a void in my heart when we're not playing soccer on day, which is why I and Noah are proud to announce that starting in the spring of 2015, we'll be launching our brand new Orlando City FC show. We're going to be talking...
Oh, God.
Sorry, Kaka. Sorry, Orlando.
MLS shows. Oh, that's going to be hard to do.
That's right. After we launch our Major League Lacrosse, go Los Angeles Riptide. I think they still exist.
What about arena football?
The arena football show?
Exactly, that's what I just said. Oh my God, it's same wavelength.
My goodness, Noah.
Okay, well, we've wasted you know what? No, I think we've used all 4 minutes and 30 seconds very, very carefully. I think we planned out these minutes very well. But it's time to get into what we came to talk about. But first, you can like Kickin' It with Jake and Noah on Facebook. The page is Kickin' It with Jake and Noah. You can follow us on Twitter, Jake at Jake Liker.
With an apostrophe instead of a G, because we're really poor.
Yeah. You can like Jake Liker on Twitter,
damn.
at Jake Liker. And Noah Taborda, which is me, on Twitter, at Noah Taborda. And Carl Mogeline, not at Carl Mogeline, but at Carl_PM with a K, not capital.
If you spell with a C, I love how well we have this down. If you follow Carl with a C, we will do an Orlando City show for you.
But follow him and just start bombarding him with questions why his parents didn't name him Carl with the C.
And you want to know what's really funny? So Carl was my grandfather's middle name, but it was actually with a C. So for some reason I got it switched to a K. Probably because K's are. I'm sorry, but does Carl with a C not sound like a really nerdy kid, or be an old guy? Like, it's one of the two. But Carl with a K is so much fresher.
No, it's still the same nerdy old guy.
Carl is an honorary Kardashian. Spells his name with a K, but he shouldn't. Clearly,
okay.
You want Kim with a C? So Sim instead of Kim.
Sim. Okay.
Sim Kardashian.
Now, guys. After 6 minutes and 11 seconds, I think we can finally get into what happened in the round of 16, the first stage of the knockout stage, and what we think will happen in the quarterfinals. So we start with the first game of the of the round of 16, which was Brazil-Chile. And this game, of course, first game, did not fail. It was amazing, to say the least. Going down to penalties, couple of shots off the post, and Brazil escaped again and moved on to the quarterfinals. Jake, of course, we don't want to spend too much time recapping, though, but quick thoughts on the Brazil-Chile game.
Well, if you're a USA fan right now, you're still probably pretty sad. Well, you could be Chile. Chile, I'm an honorary fan of you guys. Because this is the third tournament in a row in which you've lost from Brazil. You guys came so close.
Second.
Sampaoli has revolutionized that team. This is their third.
It's the second. We already went over this, Jake. You and me actually went over this.
The second. Me and Noah looked it up.
Yeah.
No, me and you looked it up.
Oh, yeah.
When Jake was off with certain...
We looked up the 2006 World Cup and they never played.
Jorge Sampaoli revolutionized the team.
Seamless.
Again, I mean, a very exciting brand of soccer. I look forward to seeing what they can do in 2018, and by then, Alexis Sanchez will certainly be a household name come World Cup.
Okay, thank you. Just so you are aware, Chile did not even qualify for the 2006 World Cup. So, would have been impossible. Carl.
Yeah, that would kind of...
Yeah, your quick thoughts
that's me.
on Brazil, Chile.
You know what? Honestly, I just kind of feel bad, mainly because you don't normally think of soccer as, a game of inches. I mean, the ball's a little too big for that. That comes to, hockey and golf. And
it's actually football. Football is the game of football.
Yes, a puck is a ball.
No, but football is the game of inches. You forgot the game of inches. The actual game of inches you forgot.
No, it's not the real game of inches. Again, I don't count that as a game of inches. It's a different
It's literally where the name comes from.
It's the real game of inches, y'all. It's a game of yards. You guys, come on. Game of yards.
Unless we're in, Europe, which in that case, it's a completely different measuring
okay,
system.
Literally let me say this. Other than America. Hey!
Yeah.
Okay, soccer. You don't normally think of it like that. A game of centimeters, shall I say. But, you know what? That last Chilean shot, I mean, and I feel like a lot of the times in PKs, especially with shots off the post, you know what? You bring it 2-3 centimeters over and it's in the back of the net. It's just hard to watch. We went wide right, so Chile, you are all honorary Buffalo Bills fans. Congratulations. Very nice.
So, of course, who can forget about Mauricio Pinilla? The last-minute shot against Brazil. Not the penalty, because that's important, but in the 119th minute, Chile has it to win it. Mauricio Pinilla off the post. And did you guys hear about what he did as a result?
I blame Wanda Love.
he got a tattoo saying 1 centimeter from glory, with his shot hitting the post, beautifully depicted on his skin.
Why? That is kind of awesome. That is a really hard pitch to be featured in ESPN the Body magazine issue. So
yeah.
Congrats.
But
it worked for Kaepernick.
We've gone a long time blabbering. We've gone a long time blabbering. So in my just quick opinion,
we do blabber.
Brazil had a great first half and they played their best soccer. And then the second half happened and they weren't really that good. And Neymar disappeared. Hulk had to do most of the heavy lifting, and he almost carried them through in regular time. Unfortunately, they were unable to. Overtime, nothing happened till the 119th minute. And then the penalty shootout. And, of course, Hara goes off the post on the shot to tie after Brazil. That penalty shootout was horrible, by the way. Nobody could make a penalty. It was disastrous.
What are you doing? Oh, no, it was pretty bad.
And they managed to survive in the end. And, of course, ESPN decided to steal me and... ESPN decided to steal me and Jake's joke of Julio Cesar being Caesar, and decided to use it saying Hal Caesar, which makes me angry because that's that's our joke. They just stole it.
Et tu, Brute? Alright, but I gotta say one thing. Of all the names on the Brazilian team, you got Hulk, you got Neymar, and you got William and Fred. I find it really funny. Some of those one name, especially Fred.
And then you've got Joe. Why did you forget Joe? Joe deserves remembering. Joe.
Or Edinson Cavani, who was supposed to be named after Thomas Edison, but his parents were bad at spelling. True story.
Okay, so we're going to move on now to the next game. Colombia-Uruguay. The only convincing victory by any team came from Colombia on the wonder goal from James Rodriguez, debatably the best goal in the tournament.
The wonder goal.
It's the same thing. It's like as good as it was. It is a wonder goal.
It's wonder goal, but not German.
It's wonder goal. Wonder goal.
Are you saying it's wonderful?
It's wonderful.
Wonder goal.
Okay. Too much blabbering. Too much blabbering.
Wonder. You need the V. Come on, Jay.
Colombia came out with a victory. 2 goals from James, putting him atop the table for most goals scored so far, above Neymar, above Messi, above Thomas Müller, and continues to shoot him into the stratosphere of debatably the best player in the tournament. And now hundreds of players want him. Once again, Bleacher Report, after the round of 16, or after the first game of the round of 16, voted James Rodriguez the number 1 player, and many people were talking about him, Neymar, and Messi are now competing for the best player in this tournament, which is very true. I mean, Neymar, though, disappeared from the second half of his game, but convincing victory. Jake, thoughts on Colombia-Uruguay?
Wow. Colombia has emerged as a serious contender to not just beat Brazil, but to win it all. This team has been the most dominant. And if you want to compare them to somebody, think of like, if you watch the NFL this season, first half of the season, they were like the Kansas City Chiefs, only their talent wasn't fake. Colombia. Because, yes, they played easier opponents. But unlike Kansas City, they've dominated. It has not been close. Good for that team. Good for Colombia. I'm very happy for that nation, and I can't wait to see what they'll do against Brazil.
Okay, and now Carl.
I mean, honestly, it was the only win that was a no-doubter out of all of them. And that's the thing. So you know what? Good on Colombia. Let's see what you can do against Brazil.
Okay, so we come to the matchup against Brazil, but Brazil came in as the favorites, and the odds still have them as the favorites based off the Las Vegas odds. The majority of experts have chosen to side with Colombia. Many think that Brazil's luck will come to an end here because, let's face it, they have gotten lucky on them multiple times, and eventually the ball will hit the post and go in, not bounce out.
So, centimeters.
Yeah, we will start with Carl Vigestos. Who do you think will win, and why?
I feel like I'm gonna get like kicked out or like I don't know, on like a blacklist in Colombia or something like that. Or excuse me, Jake, Colombia. Sorry, but I'm picking Brazil. I've still got to side with them. Chile is still a very, very strong team. Brazil, sure, maybe should have put them away easier, but the fact is, they keep tying teams and beating them, but they still haven't lost. I still don't doubt them, and honestly, watching Neymar in that game, I was extremely impressed with him. I mean, he just seemed to have his way half the time. So, you know what? I'm picking Brazil. Maybe it'll come back to bite me, and maybe Noah's gonna unfriend me on Facebook for this or something. But if I pick, I'm sticking with it.
Okay, we'll go to Jake now. Jake, how do you see the Colombia versus Brazil game turning out?
Because those of you can't see, Noah's actually pointing a gun at the webcam, and it's...
I'm not that violent, Jake. I'm not that violent.
No.
Not that violent. I mean, I am... It's not a gun.
It's only a hand grenade.
Thank you, Carl.
Only a hand grenade.
It's not...
Here's what I think. I'm going to be rooting for Colombia. Maybe I've been talking with Noah too much, but I've sort of adopted them as my second team, so I will be rooting hard for them, even though I picked Brazil to win the whole thing. That said, I don't go back on my word, and my word was that Brazil was going to win this
Can we say something really quickly, though? Jake not going back on his word has been bad.
If they beat Chile, they would win the whole thing. Which is what that was what I said. Strong defense team. We're going to be seeing quite a few goals here. I think Brazil's going to have holes in their defense. I think Brazil's offense is powerful enough to get through. I think we're going to see another game in extra time, and it will go in Brazil's favor, 3-2.
Now, Jake, I understand you don't want to go back on your word. Let's just point out, every time you haven't gone back on your word, it's turned out bad.
The one time I do go back on my word, it's bad, though. So, like...
No matter when you... It doesn't matter what you do. Look, Brazil, and I think Jake, you can definitely agree with this on me, has gotten lucky at times. They haven't played well. Their midfield has been literally non-existent except for Luis Gustavo, who, by the way, won't be playing next game for Brazil. Let's remember that. Let's remember, Luis Gustavo will not be playing, their best midfielder.
However, Falcao will not be playing for the rest of this tournament. This could be a crucial blow for Colombia. I don't know if they were prepared for this.
Let's also say this. Colombia has absolutely no pressure at all in this game. The second they lost Falcao, they lost all of that. And they're just going to go out there and play their game.
No pressure.
Come on. Pressure. You know what kind of pressure do they have? They're dancing.
Comparatively, yes. Comparatively, much less.
They do not have pressure. This is the point where everybody expected them to get. Not even most people expected them to get to this point. They're out there having fun, Carl. They're dancing.
Everybody said Colombia is going to the quarterfinals.
Yes.
There's still pressure, but there's still pressure.
No, actually, do you want to actually go and see how many people actually said they're going to the quarterfinals? Let's actually test that on ESPN.
But there's still pressure.
There's still pressure, though.
There's
still... You know what? I expected to. In a World Cup game...
Let's take Brazil, who was crying after during penalties, to Colombia, who dances after goals like there's no tomorrow.
I'm just saying that there's still pressure.
Comparatively... Fine, we'll go comparatively. Comparatively, there is...
I'm just saying that when they play Brazil, I don't think there will be a tomorrow in their World Cup play. Let's keep
going. Let's keep going. Let me explain why. They play the exact same brand of soccer. They both have pretty good defenses, except for that Dani Alves and Marcelo. Do they still play for Brazil? I'm pretty sure Brazil has been playing with 9 players.
They also went to Orlando City.
8. I forgot about Fred. So we're down to 8 players. Their midfield has been non-existent, I was saying. Their forwards have been disastrous. Neymar, David Luiz, Luis Gustavo, Thiago Silva and Julio Cesar have carried that team. No, I said that's who carried the team.
Good.
Those players. Okay. Now let's also go to another article that I was looking at. They did the best 11 of the two teams. Guess how many Brazil players made it to the list? 2. Neymar and Luis Gustavo. Luis Gustavo is not playing. And they said, good. David Luiz and Thiago Silva are the better center backs overall. But in this tournament, there have been none better than Mario Yepes and Christian Zapata. The team plays an exciting brand of soccer, one which Brazil hasn't seen yet. Chile is good, but they don't have the same level of talent as Cuadrado, James Rodriguez, who, by the way, is playing out of his mind, which is, I mean, everybody knows that right now. But I honestly, Brazil's not going to get lucky at some point. They're not going to get lucky at some point. 3-1 Colombia.
I think that at some point they'll have to turn on this field. We will move on. We will move on because this could go back and forth. I'm rooting for Colombia. Heart says Colombia, head says Brazil. Let's continue Ramos, as they say.
Jake, also I'm happy you're picking Brazil because normally your predictions are wrong, so that's actually a good thing. Same with Carl.
Yeah.
Nope, that's more with Carl.
I'm also better than Jake and Noah, and then you literally finished last in the group.
Carl.
I know, and then you see the other group. No, the group of the teams I hated. I made a bracket of all the teams I hated, and it was in like the 90th percentile.
Okay, well we gotta hurry up. We gotta hurry up because we have gone 21 minutes on 3 matchups. We move on now to Netherlands. Okay, Netherlands, Mexico. It can be described very quickly. 2 missed penalty calls. Penalty or no penalty? That's a good question. Or was Robin trying to impersonate a ballerina? If you turn him up right side up, he looks like a ballerina, tippy-toeing on the ground.
LeBron James stood up and clapped for 30 seconds when he saw that dive. That was puppetry in motion, my friends.
Yeah.
Take notes, Brazil. If you want to get lucky, this is how you do it.
Costa Rica, Greece, the other game. Colombia's group maybe didn't get enough love because Greece just gave Costa Rica, who played in a group that was apparently one of the most difficult, a run for their money, tying it late in the game. Of course, Costa Rica came out on top in the end, but Costa Rica, of course, got a man sent off, of course, also. But Greece, definitely, even with 10 men, Greece, who is a team that doesn't seem to have really that much of a chance at any point, had a chance. Unfortunately, after a good penalty shootout where people actually made their penalty kicks, Costa Rica won. There we go. We summed it up quickly because, of course, we have to move on to the predictions. So we will start with Jake this time. Costa Rica and Keylor Navas, who, of course, is rumored to go to Real Madrid, will now be taking on the Orange Machine, the Dutch, Robin, Van Persie, all of them. Does this inexperienced Costa Rica team that has lacked goals throughout the tournament but has been able to rely on defense that has gotten them through this, behind, of course, Keylor Navas again, do they have what it takes to overcome Holland?
They needed to play anybody other than Netherlands. Because if you want to build a team specifically designed to beat Costa Rica, it would be, as Noah insists, Holland, or El Orange, or whatever you want to say. Look, this team is an offensive machine, but guess what? It's their defense that has kept them afloat in this game. Look for a surprisingly low-scoring game. 2-1. The Netherlands will win, but I think I speak for everyone except for the Dutch. We'll be rooting for Costa Rica in this game.
I will be as well. You said low scoring. I'm going to go even lower. Not even 2-1. 2-0. Netherlands wins. Costa Rica does not have enough offense at all, unfortunately. Joel Campbell has been good, but they just haven't had enough offense. And I think Netherlands comes out on top. It comes down to, and Carl, I see you, but unfortunately we're not going to start with you every time. It comes down to what Netherlands has versus what Costa Rica has faced. They went up against.
I would still be last.
Yeah. Okay, you're going last. Have fun. We have and they played England, who was good, but they're in a transition stage. They haven't quite fixed and figured out their offense yet. You've got Uruguay, of course, who did not have Suarez that game, so that's kind of a downfall. Of course, Edison Cavani is still a lethal striker. And we have Italy, who just Balotelli either shows up or doesn't. But they haven't had a team that has the offensive weapons that Netherlands have. And Netherlands has Arjen Robben. They've got Robin van Persie. They have Wesley Sneijder. They have, of course, bench players such as Memphis Depay, Leroy Fer. And then even in the defense, they have attacking threats in the box as well. Ron Vlaar, you have Dali Blind, Bruno Martins Indy. It's just a non-stop attack, and it works to perfection. And their defense, which was highly criticized for being inexperienced, in the end, has played amazing. And I think it keeps going. I don't think Costa Rica has shown the ability to score goals consistently, especially considering the fact that their only game they scored more than one goal in was against Uruguay. So, Netherlands' defense is, I think, better than actually any defense they've played to this point, surprisingly, and the offense is better as well. I think the hardest matchup they will have faced, even though I think Greece's defense is great.
No, Greece's defense is better than Netherlands.
I disagree. Colombia played against Greece, and it's not as strong as you would think it is.
Because it was Colombia.
Of course. We won 3-0 against this apparently impenetrable defense that only allowed 4 goals in 10 qualifying games. But Netherlands is the hardest team they faced. 2-0 final score. And now after Carl's pleading, and he's the guest on the show, remember, too, he gets to speak.
I have family relation to this game, okay? I do.
Good for you.
I've got a...
Congratulations.
I have a Costa Rican stepbrother. So you know what?
And I'm related to a Dutch.
You know what? So, and you know what's sad? Like, normally the Dutch are, like, my fans' favorite team. Like, I love the Dutch. But I, physically cannot go root for the Dutch, and it kind of hurts. Like, these are my two... other than the U.S., these are my two teams that I'm almost always really for. Yeah, that's kind of out the window.
Costa Rica.
So, the fact is, Costa Rica, as much as I'd love to have them win this game, they're not. They have not nearly enough offense, and the Dutch just have too much. In the end, there's just...
Hey, we have to let Carl speak before you can keep talking. We can do rebuttals later.
I'm sorry, you paused. I was too busy. I was really jumping at the bit.
Jake, I don't have to down you a point there, and I think I win this debate. Carl.
I actually used 2 points against you, though, so I won the first episode.
Oh.
Well, Carl has decided not to finish his point for some reason.
This is why I come in here. Look, Costa Rica's only chance is if Netherlands decides to
No,
become...
because you were interrupted, and obviously, really, oh.
Carl, can you just...
Really, Jake?
Carl, just speak.
Okay, now I can finish. I can finish. I was very close to finishing, actually. Alright, here's the fact. Netherlands, the Dutch, Holland, whatever you want to say, has way too much offense. And while Costa Rica has a stellar defense, they have produced so little offense this entire tournament that there's no chance that they make it past the Dutch. I mean, I'm sorry. I love Costa Rica.
Well, there's a chance.
But this
There's
is
always a chance. There was no chance they were going to make it past the group stage, too. There was no chance they were going to make it past anybody, but they did.
No, but
they did.
I think this is a different...
There's a low chance. There's a low chance.
Here's what I think. I think that what's going to happen is
3-4%.
Netherlands is going to pull a typical offensive, stereotypical game for the Dutch. The field will become rampant with tulips, and then they'll all get high, and due to the much they will keep the referee, and they will play down a man, and Costa Rica will win.
That makes a lot more sense.
Cannibalism, by the way. That's actually their national tourism economy booster.
Okay.
Cannibal season is the best season.
Duck season. Wabbit season. No, it's human season. God.
Okay.
Okay. So, Jake went with
That explains so
2-1. I went with 2-0. Carl, your score.
Yeah, 2-0, honestly. The Dutch have enough offense to easily score. I wouldn't be surprised if it ends up like 3-0, honestly.
They could only get 1 goal against Mexico, though. It's 1. Don't call it 2. It's 1. That's all.
That's debatable, though. If you want to hear on why me and Jake think that there may or may not have to be an instant replay, go listen to the showdown from a couple of nights ago, which was, I think, like 2 nights ago, actually.
I think it was 2 nights ago, yeah.
Yeah.
The
So,
showdown is a great show.
we won't debate that, though, because we have matchups to cover and matchups to pick. The next matchups, Nigeria-France. That was
Let's just do the quarterfinal matchups, man. Just do the
that
quarterfinal.
was not great. But Germany, Algeria. We got to talk about Germany and Algeria.
Excuse me. I'd like to point something out here. Nigeria would have scored in the first half had there been instant replay, but another wrong offside call, and France ends up winning 2-0. Okay, continue.
Okay, Germany, Algeria. Jake comes in and says that the USA game was the USA played by Algeria, and Jake, you're wrong. Algeria planted the game tactically correct. They didn't allow Germany to play into their comfort zone. Germany looked a little
Algeria
confused.
played better than the U.S.
Oh, but here's the thing. Algeria played well. They counterattacked well. They took Germany out of their comfort zone and used that to their advantage in the counterattacking game, opening up spaces for them. Unfortunately, when it came to being in the attacking third, they lacked that finishing touch. And in the end, that doomed them, especially when it came to overtime, when they had multiple chances to take the lead, and then once the lead was taken from them really early in overtime, they had chances to tie. And once again, for lack of better passing and better vision, they were unable to find the open guy to finish it off. But that's in the past.
Fantastic back heel goal, though, by the way.
Yeah.
Gotta point that out.
Yeah. From Andre Schürrle.
They just love a little back heel.
Yeah. And of course, Schürrle, he's going to go down now in the books as being the guy who, I guess, saved Germany from missing their first... Oh, by the way, this is the 16th straight quarterfinal for Germany. So if you need a team to not root for, it's them. Also, Brazil has been to 17 quarterfinals. You need another team not to root for? Brazil. They're just winners.
Everyone was going to root for Germany, though. The Germans are so likable.
They're going up against the French now.
I still root for Germany, mainly because of certain, how do I say this, eye and hair color traits that I may or may not share with certain ancestors that may or may not have been from that exact region.
Then why are you not crying about Sweden missing the tournament?
Wait, are you saying that blonde hair and blue-eyed people are better than everybody else?
Actually, no, I'm not Swedish, though. I'm not Swedish. No, and do not make me sound like Hitler.
Nobody was saying Hitler. Nobody said that. Wow.
No, but Jake,
Just like Netherlands.
Just like that, you actually just became the Hitler in everybody's minds with this show.
Hey.
No, but it's really funny because I'm not Swedish, so I don't care. I'm everything but Swedish in Northern Europe, so.
Oh.
Everything. Everything. Okay. France versus Germany. Neither team put in a convincing result, and now suddenly the experts have also turned on that game. France has come out now as the favorite. And I'm buying into the hype. Viva la Resistance! Viva la France! I think they will come out victorious in penalties. Woohoo!
Germans lose in penalties? Oh, angry Englishmen screaming at your computer 1,000 reasons why you are wrong right now.
No, but that's because they were playing that's because they're playing England, and England always loses. Not because Germany wins. It's because England loses. But France comes out on top. Look, they have shown exceptional talent all around. Paul Pogba, Matteo Valbuena. Of course, at center back, they may or not have Mamadou Sakho, which will be a determining factor. Mamadou Sakho. But of course, they also have Blaise Matuidi, and of course, Jake's second favorite goalie prop, third favorite goalie probably of the tournament, Hugo Lloris. Nobody knows how to pronounce his name. How does it pronounce?
I believe it's Lloris.
Lloris? Okay. He's had an exceptional tournament, to say the
Or
least.
Dolores.
Only allowing 2 goals this whole
My
tournament so far.
goalies have had great tournaments.
Yeah,
Your goalies?
that's his favorite goal. So is mine, though. Mine only allowed 2 goals so far, too. That's DeVito Spina, by the way.
A doctor and a lawyer.
Wow. Okay. Look, France has the attacking skill. Karim Benzema has been on point, and Antoine Griezmann has played well. The only way I see them losing is if Didier Deschamps decides to go out and tweak like he's been doing. Oliver Giroud was the wrong decision. Not a good decision. Antoine Griezmann should be in the starting lineup. He played exceptionally when he was, and I think France comes out victorious by a wee bit. By a wee bit.
A wee bit.
And advance to play Colombia in the semifinals of the 2 surprise teams. Now we go on to Kajake.
I'm sorry. Look, France has been fantastic defensively, but again, they also had a rather weak group.
Oh, really? Because Switzerland almost beat, in case you didn't realize, Switzerland almost beat Argentina, and Ecuador and Switzerland were nearly equal. So that's another group that was underrated. It's the same way that, no, it's the same way that people said that Belgium's group was bad. Belgium's group wasn't bad.
What you're saying is they played in a good group because Ecuador was almost as good as Switzerland. Who was
No, look,
almost able
I think that what we got wrong going into the World Cup is that there are no, really this year, there were no weak teams. There were no teams out of the question. Algeria, who most people thought was the 4th best team, came out in 2nd
Worst.
in the group.
People thought South Korea was better. I don't know.
Yes, most people did. And you also picked Russia. You picked Russia, we picked Russia, everybody picked Russia.
Noah, on our composite, in our composite ranking of overall rankingness, the Algerians came out. I mean, it's the Algerians were picked 31st in 4 different ranking systems that me and Noah used in our composite ranking.
Exactly.
I mean, everybody thought they were bad.
Okay, wait, can we get back on track?
Everyone.
Also, Greece. Greece was great composite-wise, but everybody picked Ivory Coast. Jake, they didn't play in a weak group, unfortunately. Ecuador, by the way, finished above Uruguay and Chile in qualifying. So, yeah.
Because they've played it at home, we've been over this. Ecuador was an overrated team from the start and never had a chance.
That's unfortunately not true because they're actually... No, they're not an overrated team because they lost in the... You realize, had they tied against Switzerland and not blown it at the end, they came out 2nd in that group. They tied with France, the only team that were able to deal with France.
All the time, but we can't because that's not what happened.
The only team that handled France, was Ecuador. Jake, you were underrating. How can so? Then here's my thing. I think Costa Rica's group may have been worse then, because Costa Rica's group, they just didn't show up at all. Italy was old, so they were overrated from the start. Uruguay probably wouldn't have Suarez, so they were overrated from the start.
People said that they were old.
No, look, I said they were old, and I was right. And it showed.
You also said that France didn't have a chance to move on.
No, and then I changed it. Did I not? You can look at my brackets.
I hadn't heard a single word place for that team.
You can look at my brackets.
May I please just go back to my prediction here?
Yes.
May you? Yes. Can you? Probably not.
Thanks, Carl.
They also played Nigeria, who, by the way, is better than Algeria.
I would differ. I completely beg to differ. I would.
Oh yeah, just like how Nigeria won the Africa Cup of Nations. It's not like Nigeria won the Africa Cup of Nations. No, it's not. They didn't. Keep going. As you were saying.
I do believe that in the end it will be Germany. They were still a fantastic team. They still beat Algeria, and it would have been 2-0. Well, that's not how, but both teams have been very consistent. But right now, a lot of experts are picking France because of momentum and what's the sexy pick right now, if you will. But let's face it here, the Germans are.
Why would
And they will.
How are they the better team though? Germany, by the way, has been.
Okay, coming into this tournament, they had the best roster. I think we can all agree on that.
Coming into this tournament, Costa Rica was actually bad because they played horribly in all of their games going in. You know what? No, Jake. Going into this tournament, you can't say that. You can't say this. That going to the tournament no longer exists anymore.
Okay, so Germany is a terrible team. They won all their games.
They're not a terrible team. Oh, they won all their games? What happened to the game against Ghana? Did they win that one too? No, actually they tied and they played badly.
They went undefeated. My mistake. Look. I think Germany's going to be fine.
Yes, he was.
Here's a prediction that I thought was actually quite good, and it picks Germany to win. But what do they say? Germany is the favorite, but the French are playing better and have more confidence. In a clash of two Europe's top soccer nations, Germany will have more resolve. See, they picked them because of resolve. Not because they're a blatantly better team, but because of resolve. I think you got to actually be fair to France here, Jake. You are really underselling this team. Germany looked...
No, I'm not saying that. France is a fantastic team.
Germany was lucky to beat Algeria, to be fair. They played poorly. And you know what? France was lucky to beat Nigeria. So these are both teams that have been completely unconvincing in their games. And one of them will win. And unfortunately, I don't think either of them... I think that... Here's my thing. I think if Germany makes it through and plays Brazil... they will lose. If they make it through and play Colombia, they will win. If France makes it through and plays Colombia, they will win. If they make it through and play Brazil, they will lose.
Well, I think Germany will play Brazil, and Brazil will come out on top.
Okay, now we go to Carl. We almost forgot about him.
I hate to agree with Jake. You know, it's really hard for me. It's just like a personal pet peeve agreeing with Jake. Yeah, but I do.
I have no problem with it as long as you don't really undersell France.
I still have... you know what? You know, I'm not even going to go into it too deeply.
Do I know?
I still love Germany. I don't think they've done too much just to lead me astray from that.
Except for the game.
Except for the Ghana game, which was a little sketchy.
And the Algeria game. And the Algeria game.
Oh, so we're going to more France. France no one's been perfect.
They had one game that was poor. They had one game.
I'm picking Germany, and I still love their goaltender.
Manuel Neuer is great. That's true.
I'll be rooting for France, though. I'm picking all the teams I'm rooting against.
Jake, is that the old if I'm always happy clause then?
It's actually a happy accident. I just want
happy accident.
Tottenham win.
Wait, a happy accident? Wait, so your sports picks cause pregnancies? Whoa.
Okay.
That's insane.
Carl, your final score, because we got to move on.
Oh, final score of that game would probably be, I don't know, that turned up scary, 2-1.
2-1? That's a good score. I like it.
Actually, no, not 2-1. 1-0. 1-0, because this entire knockout round is very low scoring. I'm going to keep that trend going.
While we go, I'm sending an article, by the way, that gives exactly why Jake completely sold them way low. And I will also add that to the... If you're listening live or if you're not, in the comment section, you can find the link.
The link.
Yes.
And also something about Brain Paul, probably. It's how the internet comment sections work.
Okay. Well...
1-0, Alemania. Ghana. Sorry.
Jake has made no changes to his bracket, which is okay, I guess. Carl hasn't either, but Carl at least didn't diss France. I mean, that was probably one of the more disgraceful things we've had on the show.
France. I didn't want to diss France.
You diss France. We move on now. Argentina-Belgium. Argentina, who was driven to the edge by a Switzerland team that you said it was in a group that wasn't that good. Switzerland played very well. So did Argentina. Argentina ended up coming away with the win. A lefty-to-lefty connection. Angel Di Maria, the angel of Argentina, the savior of Argentina, came up with the goal.
Perhaps?
El Salvador. except for that they're in Argentina. He came up with the goal, of course. And, of course, the first thing you hear is, Messi made the pass. Again? Really?
Yeah.
Why isn't it Di Maria scored the goal? When Messi scores the goal, it's Messi. Who passed the ball to Messi when he scored his other goals? That should be the savior then. Come on. I mean, here's my mini rant. Look, we get that Messi's great. We get that Messi's great. But not everything is because of Messi. Messi made a good pass. Di Maria got himself open. Messi's goal? Are you crediting it to other people? No, you credit the goal to the person who scored it. Not everything is Messi. The rest of the team did something too. It's called Sergio Romero making...
Some things are clean, not Messi?
Don't you dare. That's a lowbrow pun, man.
Sergio Romero making tons of saves. Their defensive line staying stout despite the inability of the offense to produce that game and being able to just somehow keep Switzerland out despite them going off the post late in the game, which would have most likely sent the game to penalties. But it's not all Messi. Not everything that Messi does is the reason that Argentina wins. We got it. One of the best, if not the best player in the game. We've got it. All the Messi fanatics, we can relax.
Are you sure? You
know, I'm pretty sure because...
I don't understand your point. I'm kidding. You made it very
I got
clear,
it.
And I agree that Lionel Messi has gotten... I mean, he deserves...
credit.
All the...
He's getting more credit than...
He deserves the credit for all of the group games. But not so much the game against Switzerland.
Yeah. Can I please talk about USA and Belgium? I'm sorry. I'm too emotionally invested to not talk about it.
Yes, of course, Argentina went on to win 1-0 in extra time. We go now, Belgium versus USA, and we start with Carl. Just kidding, Jake.
Thank you.
Oh, I was actually invested too.
Look, here's what we saw in this game. We saw the clearly more talented team win out. Tim Howard had a historic performance, 16 saves, most...
Hashtag things Tim Howard could save.
They started recording them in 1966. By the way, please go online, sign a petition on WhiteHouse.gov. Somebody wants to change the Ronald Reagan Airport in Washington, D.C. to Tim Howard International Airport, and I'm all for it. Sign it. We need 100,000 signatures before July 31st. But back to the game. Belgium really outplayed USA. I tried to pass possession. The defense played well enough when it came to centers and crosses, but the midfield was just lackluster. In extra time, Jermaine Jones completely fell apart. The team tried, but the miracle run had to end at some point. Julian Green scored in the second half of extra time on his first touch in a World Cup. We're really excited about him, but they could not get the final push. At the end of the day, the better team won. Congratulations to Belgium. They will be moving on. And we can go back to eating Belgian waffles.
Well, that's good. I was really missing them.
Also, by the way, I do have now the link. It will be posted on Kickin It's page, and it will also be in the comment section of the video. We're waiting for the Paul comment. We're still waiting.
I'm on it. Don't worry.
Okay, good, Carl. So
I'm a liberal from Oregon, but yeah, I can do that.
Yes, of course, Jake is very emotional.
International Airport.
And I will agree. Here's what they lacked completely for me, and it's intensity. Any kind of intensity at all. There was no intensity from the U.S. Jake, you're giving me a weird face, but really, where's the intent? Did you see intensity?
Did you watch the final 15 minutes of the game?
The final 15 is not enough. There's a whole...
I agree,
there's
but
a whole...
You said there was no intensity. You said there was no intensity.
Up until the final...
It was not enough.
105 minutes of... It was actually 103, because the last 2 minutes of the game, they got a little bit more intensity, too. 103 minutes without intensity.
Although, how did you add 1 minute of stoppage time? That's blasphemous. I'm sorry.
I know. Here's the thing.
Thank you, Noah.
How did they add 2 to the halftime and 1 to the end of it? It's normally the other way around. Okay, and also, look, USA just didn't play well.
We did not play well. We did not deserve to win that game.
You know why I think we lost it? The fan who ran on the field.
Definitely.
Jurgen Klinsmann was not impressed. Did you see Jurgen Klinsmann?
He's a great guy.
But did you see Jurgen
That should be
Klinsmann's
a
face?
meme. No.
Did you see
know what?
Jurgen
You know
Klinsmann's
what
face?
should come up after that? You know what? No. I've got it. You guys, I know it. Jurgen Klinsmann is the new Michaela Maroney. You guys, Jurgen Klinsmann is the new Michaela Maroney.
Jurgen Klinsmann
Hold
was
on.
not impressed. Yes.
I need to say something about the guys that were on the field. Because, yeah, he's going to be completely ridiculed, but what...
No, we understand what he was doing, and it was a great thing to do. But it's in the...
It's not worth going to jail. I don't think a lot of people know what happened. Basically, it was about saving the fatherless children, the Brazilian
we
slums,
agree.
11 million people.
We think it's a great cause. But if you want to get outreach, running on the field with a tiny shirt that nobody can see on TV and is only going to be broadcasted at certain areas that you were doing that, probably not the best way.
Yeah, you have to be blown up, and you put it like right above crotch level.
And also when Klinsmann isn't impressed, it doesn't help. Because Klinsmann was not impressed.
Is the key
I'm sorry, it's a no from me. Who needs Simon Cowell? We have Jurgen Klinsmann. Algerian ref, sorry, that's a no for me.
Okay, well, of course, the USA is out, but Belgium and will play Argentina, and we are getting up there in time. So, we're going to have to do a really quick prediction here. Only score.
No team, just the score, just random numbers.
7, 25, 36, 5, 21.
22.
Okay. Final score, Jake, and quick little sentence on why.
Argentina 2, Belgium 1 in extra time, simply because Argentina doesn't really seem to kick in until late in the game. Their offense hasn't been enough. It's a run-on sentence, but it still counts as one sentence. They score in extra time, and somehow it'll be Lionel Messi's credit.
Okay, Carl, sir. 1-0 Argentina, because neither of these teams play until the last 20 minutes of the game. So that should be funny.
I muted him because he didn't even ask for his turn. Now I'll unmute him. Or he can unmute himself. Carl, you need to unmute yourself. Go ahead, now finish your statement.
Oh, yeah, okay, so, neither of these teams play until the last 20 minutes, so it really will be about a 10-minute game total. But, Argentina's going to somehow pull it out of the back of... Let's just say that.
That was not even a run-on sentence. There was no even effort to make it a run-on sentence.
You lack intensity.
Nope, I had some commas in there.
You had some commas, but it was a horrible grammatical sentence then. My turn. The offense does kick in, but it also kicks in for Belgium, so they'll get a goal, but Argentina will score 2-1 Argentina, and they win.
Wait, I thought they lost. They scored 2 and they win.
I'm confused. We move on now to quick picks, who wins the semifinals, and no reasoning. Mine is Colombia, France. I'm going with France here, and if Colombia wins... See, I'm sticking with my tradition of picking them to lose in the next round, and then actually picking them to pick in the round when it actually comes time. But France wins. Colombia goes to third place game. Jake, you have Germany, Brazil.
Brazil, because I don't.
There was no reasoning.
And because Brazil's offense is going to be...
I didn't ask for any reasoning. There was no need for reasoning. We don't need to reason with the people, Jake. The people already trust us.
That's the Rand Paul way.
Carl.
Brazil.
Okay, so 2 people have Germany. I have Colombia. Wow, I'm a loner. We go on to the other side now. The quick pick. Netherlands versus Argentina. For all of us. I'm not a loner anymore. Wow, that was loud. Argentina over Netherlands. We finally have Argentina's offense breakout 3-2. Carl.
Argentina.
It's pronounced Argentina.
I know.
Not really, I guess not. It was not evidence that you know when you pronounce it Argentina. It's like pronouncing...
Argentina.
Okay. Jake.
Like Jake pronouncing it Colombia.
It's not in South Carolina. I'm sorry. Netherlands, you finished second in 2010. You finished second in Eurovision earlier this year. Luckily, you don't have to finish second this time. You have to finish third or fourth. Argentina moves on, but tulips are still pretty cool, I guess.
Okay.
3-2.
Golden Boot. Best goal scorer. Mine's pretty easy. If Colombia moves on from this round, that'll guarantee them at least 2 more games. That gives James Rodriguez more time to score. And, of course, in the third place game, I guess, you know what, they're not trying as hard and there's a lot more space for offense. James Rodriguez ends up with the Golden Boot. Now, if Colombia doesn't move on, nope, never mind. They're going to move on. Jake.
Netherlands, Germany, all offense and defense versus all...
Hey, we're doing Golden
defense.
Boots. We're doing Golden Boots. Best scorer.
What were you talking about?
James
third place
Rodriguez.
team?
I said James Rodriguez because if they win this game, they'll be guaranteed at least 2 more games, and that gives them more time to score.
Oh, that's awkward. Messi.
Carl.
And why me and Jake always pick the same things?
But Netherlands will win the third place.
You know what? Yeah, I got...
We're doing third place in like a second. Carl's going with Messi. Best goalie.
Messi.
Best goalie, because Keylor Navas will be knocked out here against
Yeah, and Tim
Netherlands.
Howard got
He
knocked
won't
out
get
too
it.
early.
Tim Howard's been knocked out. I have France making it, and I have Argentina making it. Hugo, Joris, whatever it is, gets best goalie. Jake.
I'm sorry, I cannot give it to someone who plays in the MLS. So, by default, congratulations to Sergio Romero. My apologies to Julio Cesar.
Did I bring it to Carl? Ooh, I like Carl.
He's been muted. He's been muted just for that, and he can unmute himself and then speak.
You're not speaking the third person here. That's not how we do things.
Germany. You know what? I love my Germanness. And I
Neuer?
love the goalie.
It's Neuer.
Yeah, Neuer.
Okay. Now, finally, best player. Look, if you get to the third place game, you can win best player. Diego Forlan did it. It's not the player who's on the best team who wins it. It's the player who just played the best. So James Rodriguez gets it again. And I am so happy that I'm not the only one who picked that. In fact, like, everybody's picking it. So that's nice. That's nice to know. I'm not a loner for once. Yay! I'm not a loner actually many times, in case you're wondering. I'm often accompanied in different places. Jake, your pick.
Yeah.
Well, Noah always knows how to get his pick his way, let's believe. Unlike him, I have to fight for my pick. And I'm willing to fight for, Messi here.
So Golden Boot is translating into best player so far. Carl, will that trend continue? Will you pick Messi?
No, I'm not. This is a hard pick for me.
Because
I
you
think
don't
I'm
want to
gonna
pick
go
against
Rodriguez.
Jake. You want to
No,
pick
actually, I'm
with
just kidding. He's not making it through for me. Messi's making it through, and he's the best. And although it doesn't matter best player, but Messi, he's gonna lose the final, but he's still gonna take it because honestly, everybody loves Messi. He's so much.
No, I
so much
hate
better
Messi.
Than
The
Ronaldo.
old man in the Pepsi commercial that steals his chips doesn't like him very much.
No,
The old
he does
man,
like him.
you know who the old man is that he takes a picture with? Wait, Messi, who does he take a picture with? No, who does he take a picture with? Does he take a picture, the guy who steals his chips, when Messi, at the very end, who is he taking a picture with? For you guys.
Shakira.
Really?
I don't know. It stops there.
What happens when he says,
Yeah, we don't get a picture.
he says that he wants to take a picture with somebody, right?
No?
No,
No?
he doesn't.
Oh,
No.
you're seeing a different commercial than me. Never mind.
No, he goes up, grabs a Pepsi from the machine, and the old guy sneaks in and grabs one of his legs.
Okay, whatever. We are going on to the predictions for the third place and the final. Third place predictions need no description or anything. It's the third place game. Why not? If I have Colombia getting this far. Colombia. Carl.
You know what? The Orange Machine. The Dutch.
Wow. Dutch. I can't even.
Dutch.
Jake.
Dutch.
Ireland.
You went with. Oh God.
Dutch over Deutschland.
Really? Ooh.
Yeah.
I think that is not
if I
very
had that
much
matchup, I would confide in Germany taking home another third place.
You know what? They are really good at it, but
They're really good at getting third place. They're also really good. Have you noticed that if they do make it past this game against France, they would be in, and they do not win their next game, they would be playing in their third straight third place game.
they love being third. We're number 3.
We're number 3.
3.
Oh my God.
We're number 3.
Oh my God. I feel they won third place in 2006. Can we check 2002 also? Because I actually have no idea about 2002.
When's the last time they finished third place?
No, they did. No.
They finished third place in a World Cup in 2010. They finished third place in 2006. 2002.
Second 2002.
Yeah, second 2002. So that ends the streak.
So they don't believe in winning though.
Yeah, except for the fact that they've won 3 World
They
Cups.
like the podium, but they're scared of heights.
Besides the fact that they've won 3 World Cups, no, they don't like winning.
They like the podium, they're scared of heights.
So
It's been a while.
comes to the final now. I have France, Argentina. Apologies to the French, but unfortunately, when it comes to the battle of midgets between Matthew Valbuena and Lionel Messi, the better midget wins. Lionel Messi and Argentina come out on top to claim their second World Cup title and bring the South American continent even with Europe on World Cup titles at 10-10 on this 20th World Cup. Jake.
Brazil versus Argentina, it's the one we all wanted to see.
Well, no. I'm pretty sure you wanted USA versus I don't know who, but you're pretty sure you didn't want
Russia.
You wanted
The Second Cold War.
No, Russia. Russia. I wanted USA to play Russia so badly.
I think we all did.
Just to see Putin
I
try to
didn't.
bet Putin and Obama betting.
I wanted USA
prisoners
Colombia.
in fruit baskets.
Oh yes, fun betting prisoners.
Okay. Jake, prediction.
Sorry. I got a little too human rightsy there. This is what happens when you talk about FIFA too much. You overcompensate for human rights to make yourself feel better.
True.
In the end, I think that Brazil will win. Messi may or may not throw up.
The nerves. The nerves are too much. Carl.
Maracana.
Carl, your prediction. Actually, also,
Brazil's still taking it.
if you had
Brazil's
picked,
still taking it.
if you had picked Argentina, if they lose at Argentina at home, at the Maracana again in the final, that would be crazy. By the way, if they make it, they're not going to lose because they did it once, but that's the only time in history that if the home nation has made it to the final, that they've lost in it. It's just unlikely.
Well, if it's unlikely, then it just ain't gonna happen.
It's just not going to
You
happen.
cannot pick France to finish second if they finish last in Eurovision. I'm sorry. Listen,
Jake, I think you're putting a little too much stock into Eurovision compared to soccer.
Austria will win the whole thing, captained by a drag queen.
Oh my God. Okay, well there you have it. Colombia, France, Germany, or Colombia, France, Germany, and Argentina. I said Colombia, France, Holland, Argentina for me, Brazil, Germany, Holland, and Argentina for the other two. And of course, for the 8 teams remaining, best of luck to you, except for Brazil. Those 8 remaining teams, of course, honestly, I don't like how you keep dissing Germany. It's getting a little out of control here, Jake.
Jake, you're dissing my...
Jake,
Carl does. I had a jersey when I was young.
Here's the thing:
there are pictures
the
of
more
German-
if this is, let's use Martin Luther King. You don't want to go back and start dissing the people who did it to you,
That's
because
not
then you're
what it's
just as
about.
bad. You're just as bad.
Oh, come on. I'm not pulling.
Don't. No, I'm sorry. You don't have to be mean to Germany all the time.
Well, Germany is just that. They
Why
sort of
why did you be nice to Italy? Italy's racist and fascist, and you're not mean to them like that.
I'm not talking about past history. I'm talking about the Germans invented diamond. Wait, that's past history. You know what I mean?
That, Jake, you just lost very badly on your own statement. Okay, well, of course, to the 8 teams, not counting Brazil, good luck to all of them.
I'm sorry.
And-
I would rather Brazil than Germany.
Okay, good luck to all of them. We hope you enjoy the quarterfinals, no matter who you're rooting for, and have a great rest of your quarterfinals, a great rest of your, well, I guess it's the great beginning of your Thursday, and thanks for joining us. We'll see you later.
Sign the petition.
Hold up, do and